Bible actually says that there is an investigative capacity that man has, sustained by a curiosity with which we are built, that is supposed to lead every human being to God, even if they have not yet had an evangelist. And because of that, the Bible says that nobody will have an excuse when they stand before the Lord. Nobody's going to say, no missionary came to our village until I died. God will say, well, that's not an excuse. For the invisible things of him are clearly seen, being made obvious by the things that are created, so that they are without excuse. That's even people that didn't hear a clear presentation of the gospel. The Bible says they will not have an excuse when they say, God would have believed in you if somebody told us about you. Because every human being has the capacity to ponder, to investigate, and to think. And that capacity that you have, if you had invested yourself in it properly, it would have led you to an apprehension of the fact that there has to be a God. So, when the human being in Genesis is performing his priestly role, he is doing something that only he in all of God's earthly creation is capable of doing. God has made you with capacity to be able to apprehend why explanations. That's not something that is generic all through creation. Man has a unique ability in that department. So man also is the one that is able to process life and process things. I don't want to keep going there. I've been resisting the urge to go to Romans chapter 1. Everything that God says, have dominion over this, over that, the birds of the air and the fish of the sea, the creeping, the cattle of the field, the creeping things that moves upon the earth, and over all the earth. That demography, all right, that economy over which they said man should have dominion, nothing within that sphere has the kind of ability that man has to be able to process info or to process data and to synthesize information out of it and then funnel it back to God as worship. So it is like raw data coming from the rest of creation. Man is the one that synthesizes it into information and then passes it on to God in that refined format. This is one of the ways that the priesthood of man on behalf of creation is carried out. And then the other side is what I was trying to explain yesterday. It is a priesthood of man on behalf of God towards the rest of creation. Are you still here? Are you still here? Everything I've tried to say was just that simple statement I made, that man is supposed to be the bridge between two worlds, and that his priesthood is a priesthood wherein he stands between God and the rest of creation. And I said it is a two-way traffic. He brings from God and he brings to creation. He takes from creation and he brings to God. What we want to do this weekend is to ensure that you will be able to stand on your 2 feet in the spirit, and you will have such a divinely inbuilt resistance to everything, the wind of doctrine that carries people here and there. You will know that something is wrong even when you don't know how it is wrong. You will still know that it is wrong. You will become the kind of entity that people cannot switch talk out of the path of truth and verity.